Number 10, Jakov Gojun. Number 12, Venio Losev. Number 13, Zlatko Korvat. Number 14, Drago Vukovic.
Well, hello and welcome to finals day of the 2012 Men's European Handball Championships from Serbia. My name's Paul Brave. Thanks for joining us today in the Serbian capital at the Belgrade Arena, where later today Serbia will come to a standstill as the host nation take on comeback kings Denmark in the final. But coming up first, it's the bronze medal playoff between Spain and Croatia. Teams lining up now here in front of this arena, still filling up ahead of the final later on, but right now there's still a bronze medal to fight out between these two countries. Well, yesterday Spain blotted their unbeaten record at Euro 2012 when they succumbed to Denmark 25-24 in a semi-final dominated by defences. In an emotional second semi-final, Serbia sent their 20,000 fans in the arena, and indeed the whole country, into raptures when they beat the neighbours Croatia 26-22. And there's confirmation that the final is at 5 o'clock Central European time, coming up after this bronze medal playoff. And the referees for today's game, Lars Geipel and Markus Helbig from Germany. Yesterday the Croatians just had no answer in the second half against a Serbian goalkeeper, Stanic, who played out of his socks, frankly. We're now introducing the officials at the table for this, the penultimate match of Euro 2012 in Serbia. And what an amazing conclusion it is that the host nation is in the final against the World Championship silver medalists. And now we shall have the national anthems.
We'll hear the national anthem of Croatia.
Let's start with Croatia. A cheer from a multitude of nationality of fans around the building, and now the anthem of Spain. So two teams who many people thought would be in the final. There's the #1 supporter for Spain. Got the match ball the other day in recognition of his efforts. He's been here for every one of their games.
Ladies
But it wasn't to be the final, and they'll have to remotivate them. Let's have a look then at the lineup. And here for Croatia, well, Balic, of course, is the big name, but actually the heavy lifting's been done by Lakovic with 25 goals on the left back, and Koplija, who's in the all-star team, 21 goals from the right-back position. Their top scorer, though, is Čupić, the right winger, with 35 goals and an enviable 74% rate on his shooting. Their goalkeeper, the Mirko Alilovic, has done most of the play, 34% save rate, including 5 penalties in that haul from 19 taken against him. 26% on penalties is very good. So he's done particularly well. And for Spain, well, Tomas on the wing together with Ugalde on the other side have been particularly industrious. The Spaniards always good on the wings. Cañelas with 25 goals and a 68% success rate has done well, although didn't really shine in the semi-final, unfortunately for them. And there he is. And 7 penalties in amongst his haul, but he failed from 4 attempts as he battled away against Denmark yesterday. Well, Spain eased into the semi-final. There is the coach of Goluca, Zlatko Goluca, great name in Croatian handball, former player in the national team, coaching them here, while on the other side it is Valero Lopez Rivera who is coaching them. Took over from Juan Carlos Pastor, and there he is in the middle of the picture. Well, as I said, Spain eased into the semi-final, the only team unbeaten at Euro 2012 at that point. Preliminary round victories against defending champions France and Russia and a draw against Hungary were followed by 3 straight wins in the main round against Croatia, Iceland and Slovenia, but in the end they couldn't cope with Denmark's mobile defence, and so after 6 semi-final appearances, they still await their first European title. But it's Croatia who are going to throw off here today. Referees check with the table. We're all good, and here we go. Croatia throw off. Well, they've had an equally imperial run. Preliminary round wins against Iceland, Slovenia, Norway. And the main round defeat against today's opponent, Spain, was followed by wins against France to book their place in the semi-final before an inconsequential draw against the Hungarians. But sadly for them, Croatia choked in the semi-final 2 days ago, and the European title continues to elude them as well. Lakovic into the line. Beautifully done. Sierra gets his foot to it, but can only knock it up into his own net.
Player number 9, Igor Vori.
So Croatia looking to overturn that main round defeat. Their only defeat in the competition coming up to that semi-final. 2 days ago against Serbia. What emotion there was. Croatians had to play with a barrage of 20,000 supporters all cheering on the home side. Still a 6-0 defence then for Croatia early on here. Free throw. And we've got yellow card for Vori. The huge line play. Until you stand next to him, you don't quite realise how big he is. 6-0 defence it might be, but they are pushing up very quickly over on the right-hand side and making sure that Alberto Entre Rios is covered, although he's not had a great championship himself. Their most experienced player with 216 caps, but has only managed a 33% success rate on his shooting, 12 goals, although he has had 16 assists, but I think they really need his firepower. Aguinalde there held up, he gets a free throw. Vori shoots out to try and cut the defence into the wing. Bit of space there, it's off the post, unlucky for them. Out comes Čupić, straight down the wing, top scorer in the Croatian side. Quick change of direction, beautiful goal. Gojun, the defense specialist, no time to change, ends up in the attack this time. Scores his 2nd goal of the competition. Good start by Croatia, 2 minutes played, 2 goals up against Spain. Spain, who took bronze at the World Championships last year in Sweden. It's not really the medal they prefer, but I'm afraid it's what they have to settle for. All the way through, dummy the first time, he's fouled in the act of shooting Entre Rios though, and it's a penalty. Doesn't really dummy a shot, but Dunjak goes early and leaves the gap behind. And much as Ninčević tries to close it, he can't. Ninčević annoyed, but in fairness, Dunjak had to be a little bit more positive in that block up front rather than let him just stroll around him. Romero comes on court to take the penalty. And he beats Alilovic. And so coming up to 3 minutes played, Spain get on the scorecard. Alilovic drops his arms, and as he does so, Romero just blasts it over his shoulder. Romero, the only player in the Spanish team who's not playing his club handball at home. He plays for Fuchs Berlin in the German Bundesliga. Ironically, Ninčević is a teammate of his at club level. Opponents though today. Dunjak looking ahead, a bit clumsy there. Looks for the line, couldn't get the ball into Vori. Koplia, who's had such a fantastic tournament, the Croatian right back, and quite deservedly named in the all-star team in the right back position. The only Croatian in that all-star side. No Spaniards in the all-star team, although Moros has been named as the best defender. Vori makes it 3-1 on the dot of 4 minutes played. Drops his wrist, look at this, and he just spins it over the head of Sierra. Broken wrist shot. His arm moves quickly, deceives the goalkeeper who thinks there's a hard shot coming, but it runs off his fingertips. Gurbindo has got himself a yellow card. Good height. Blocked, nothing to say. Čupić is away. Checks behind, no one's with him. Over the top of Sierra, and it's 4-1. Well, ironically, yesterday, when the teams came out to meet journalists at a press day in this arena, they really looked the least motivated of the two. They were still struggling to come to terms with their semi-final defeat, and the foul on Gurbindo gives a penalty, and Vukovic has picked up a second yellow card now for the Croatian team. There's the foul, little shove as he's going through. Alilovic tries to stay concentrated. Romero once more. Same spot. Once again, Alilovic brings his arm round in that kind of windmill movement. Think it's going to come low. And he just puts it over his shoulder. We're past the 5-minute mark, then Croatia lead 4-2 in the bronze medal playoff at Euro 2012 here in Belgrade. Čupić waiting in the wing, Ninčević on the other wing, not getting any service yet. It's all trying to go down the middle at the moment. Backline looking to have a bit more success than they did in the second half against Serbia when they really did choke up. Goalkeeper Stanic for Serbia, who'd only made one save in the first half, saved everything, especially from the wings, and forced them into attacking down the middle, where the defense mustered and forced them to shoot from 9-10 meters out. That's what they needed 2 days ago. Lakovic makes it 5-2. Lovely height for the 31-year-old. He, together with Dunjak and Vori, all play for Hamburg in the German Bundesliga. Gurbindo in the attack. Drifts off to the left. Entre Rios, Cañelas shifted into the right. Thomas comes out to help. Long-range shot, that works. Alberto Entre Rios, the older of the two brothers in the team here today. Plays for Atletico Madrid. 216 caps, 667 goals so far for his country. Huge experience, 4 World Championships, 3 European Championships and an Olympic game. So coming up to 7 minutes played here. Croatia still just hold the initiative as the Spaniards play this very deep defense. Igor Vori staying on the side. It leaves a gap down the middle. Eventually they pass the ball into Čupić. So that should have been a clear shot at goal. But the ball sails over his head from Koplia. No fault on Čupić. He's probably saying, I'm not that tall, you know. Try and put it a little lower down than the stratosphere. So Cañelas in the center, Gurbindo at right back. 11 goals so far in the competition for Gurbindo, the Valladolid right back. He's been a good stalwart in defense as well. Thomas goes in as a second line player to try and make space. Entre Rios. Gurbindo comes out again. Cañelas looks for the shot, but he's quickly picked up. Good defending. No way past Ninčević, and it's another free throw for Gurbindo. Cevic, teammate of Romero's at Fuchs Berlin, looks for the long-range shot. No way through once more. Entre Rios. Better defending today. This 6-0 defense. Lots of mobility, pushing out. That's very high holding. They've got to be careful. Meanwhile, passive play is being won by the referees. Cañelas tries a quick shot, but unfortunately not much power and not much direction either as he goes wide of the goal. Dunjak. Oh, intercepted. Gurbindo takes off a long way out. It's come off the post, try to follow up on the rebound. No luck, unfortunately, and back they come. Dunjak, Coplier being harassed out front by Ugalde, the winger. Ugalde who tried to pick up the rebound, and that was a chance for Spain. And a little blow in that melee for Drago Vukovic. Tried to take it. I think he may have caught the foot on the follow-through. Is it? No, it's his upper arm. Not great news for the 28-year-old who plays for Lübeck in the German Bundesliga. Well, he's doing very well, 84 goals so far. Vori! The whole defense pulled across. Guardiola completely wrenched over. Together with Gurbindo. Both taken into the wing, and Vori, 3 from 3. So in the group stages, when the two teams met, it was Spain 24, Croatia 22 on that occasion. Entre Rios, oh, there was a huge gap for him to go through. Ironically, Dunjak had slipped. He should have just turned left, and he could have driven the car through there. Into the wing, attacking foul. Lakovic running into the defender. Moros. He's a tall guy, Moros, 199, but not that tall. It was a little bit of a speculative one, and running inside the area. I think Čupić, coming in as a second-line player, strayed into the 6-meter. Makeda, well, he's just come on, and he's scored, and we're going to have a 2-minute suspension as well, I've got a feeling. We are. So off goes Goyun. Makeda, though, what an entrance to make. And we've hit the 10-minute mark in the bronze medal playoff. There he goes through, but that rather crude challenge on him. Might see better from this angle here. There's the shove. And easy decision for the German referee. So Croatia, the lead cut down to 2, but they have a power play now for the next 2 minutes or so. So Balic makes his entrance, number 4, disappearing there on the left at the bottom of the picture. Staying out of the way as he's being individually marked by Garcia Parondo. No way through for Čupić. Short-handed Croatians trying to spread out a bit, and it's a 4-0-2 defense by the Spaniards at the moment. They're marking Lakovic and Balic at the back. Balic coming on because he's got good pace. He likes to attack through gaps, and it's the kind of player you need when you're short-handed and being closely marked. Lakovic saying, let's stay calm there on the right. Don't rush this. We're okay. There's no arm up by the referee quite yet. Well, there is now. The arm's just gone up. Coplier into Balic. Both of them tangled up, though, and held up by Tomas. Lakovic looking for the big shot here. Oh, unlucky for Sierra. Took a deflection. Lakovic taking a blow in the process. So who was it? They all jump up. And it's Moros. He just knocks the ball away, and Sierra thought he'd got it covered. And then he went off to the other post. Lakovic is up, though, after that little fracas. Seems to be no harm done. So despite being short-handed, the Croatians have scored, and they still have 38 seconds to serve on the 2-minute suspension. That'll help. Alilovic, great save. As the Spaniards change keeper, the captain has come in for Sierra now. Jose Javier Hombrados, 39 years of age, plays for Atletico Madrid. 187 caps he's got, hugely experienced. But Sierra has been picked ahead of him most of the time, although not in the opening game. against France when he played a blinder against the defending champions. Ah! And short-handed once more, Lakovic finds a gap to go through. Tomas has picked himself up a yellow card in the process. We'll see why there as he pulls on his shirt. But Lakovic sees the gap and just drives in, and he's a man possessed today, Lakovic. He's on a mission. 3 for 3. Kind of statistics they hoped they could have had in the semi-final. I'm afraid it wasn't quite there. Lakovic getting 3 from 7 against Serbia on Friday. Canellas, Makeda. Been a bit of a revelation, Makeda, at this competition. 14 goals, 61% success rate. Roberto Entrerios passes to the line, but there's no space for Aguinalde. Entrerios goes wing to wing, puts it out of play for Makeda, just under his outreached arms. Dreadful pass. And the Spaniards really not quite in gear yet, I'm afraid. Meanwhile, Croatia back to full strength as Balic reverses into Makeda. It's an attacker's foul. Back comes Spain. Looks for the line. Aguinalde. Now he reverses into the defender. What a shame he didn't just pass the ball straight into García Parrondo. He didn't need to turn at all. He could have just taken the ball and flicked it. It would have been difficult for him to see it in the tangle of two defenders standing around him, but a simple option there. So Balic slots in gently into the centre now. Dunjak has been the alternate playmaker for them. Not had a great competition. 0 from 5 in the semi-final. Balic, no way through. Two defenders immediately close him down. Guardiola and Moros. Lakovic switched back again. Balic nearly giving the ball away. Not a great pass. It's kept in. And Vori has taken a slap in the face, and I'm not sure it was intentional. The referees don't appear to be taking any action. Are they? Yes, they are. Quick discussion between the two German referees, and they've concluded he was at fault. It was intentional, and Makeda goes. So one suspension each now for the teams. Here's the pass. Let's just see when we see. There's the slap across his face. He'll argue he was going for the ball and missed, but felled Vori in the process. He was right up on the line, and a penalty's been given. Well, Vori seems absolutely fine as Čupić steps up to the 7-meter line to face Hombrados. Simple one for Čupić. 55-year-old who plays for Rhein-Neckar Löwen in the German Bundesliga. Hombrados rather casually lifted his leg, didn't seem to be particularly trying to attack the ball. He does that sometimes. His style makes it look as if he's almost not that bothered. García Parrondo hops into the line. Entrerios now. Canellas has moved to left back, tries to go all the way through. Held up by Copliar with some support from Čupić at the back. Looking for the wing. García Parrondo fouled on the line. And the 31-year-old from Atletico Madrid comes back. The ball's lost. Picked up by Balic and Golutza. Coach seems happy with that. That's inside the area by Čupić. Won't count. It's a goalkeeper's throw. It's taken very quickly. Spain on the move down the court already. We're past the 15-minute mark now in the bronze medal playoff. That'll be a free throw. Canellas held up on the way in. Nine for the score then to Croatia. Spain still short-handed though at the moment. Gurbindo no way in. Entrerios happy to take the free throw. Lets the clock run down a little bit more, but they're not going to have much more time on this attack before passive play is waved. They've only really driven in once. Entrerios, Canellas puts the ball sideways again. Oh! Gurbindo goes through, but just couldn't get his arm the shot, unfortunately, for the 24-year-old from Valladolid, as Spain are back to full strength. Aguinagalde comes in, but a timeout is called as Balic is still down. So the team timeout's going to happen around the player. Still waiting to get up, and there is Valero Rivera. Spain by no means into full gear in this match yet, I'm afraid. Ironically, though, they're the ones who sounded as if they were really more up for the fight to take bronze medal here. But Croatians, for their part yesterday, were just absolutely beside themselves at losing that semi-final, especially against arch-rival Serbia. It was a torrid atmosphere in the arena here against their neighbours, Serbia, and in the end they really choked in the second half, and their shooting went to pot, unfortunately, as they were forced to take long-range efforts to try and defeat the on-form Stanic in goal. Spain, for their part, well, it was neck and neck to the end. Ironically, of all people, it was Denmark's left back, named in the All-Star team, Mikkel Hansen, who gave away the ball for the equaliser for the Spaniards before he made amends by scoring the winner. And the last attack by the Spaniards came to nothing, unfortunately. But still, a medal at stake here, and Romero was quoted yesterday saying, "We really want to go back with the medal." So we see the recording of Golutsa's timeout. Play resumes on court, looking for the line. Bit of holding going on, and back they come. So at left back, Spain have now put in the younger of the Entre Rios brothers, Raul, and a penalty. Aguinagalde pulls his shirt down, job done, thanks very much indeed, as he's got Vukovic tempted into that foul. Vukovic looking somewhat surprised, the 28-year-old. He just went past the 100 cap mark here. Let's have another look at it again. Aguinagalde turns, he thought it was an attacking foul. Oh, the spectacular drop to the ground. So Romero steps up, and Viñolos has replaced Alilovic in goal. He actually plays his club handball for Ademar Leon in Spain. And no luck for him. Lifts his right leg, and Spanish fans are happy as Romero bounces it next to his standing leg. 4 goals in it in the 17th minute of the bronze medal playoff. Igor Vori is at the back now, while Dunjak is on the line. They've swapped around. Vori now goes in as a second line player, and Dunjak pops out as Lakovic goes to the centre. They've done a lot of this, the Croatians, during this competition, with quick switches. Lakovic runs straight into Garcia Parondo. It's another attacking foul, and back comes Spain. Maqueda. Sarmiento has come in as well, a quick playmaker. He's on the line. And Maqueda shoots rather unwisely. He's given possession away. Break is on. Čupić dispossessed on the far side by Raul Entre Rios, but it's unfairly done by the Spaniard. Right in front of the referee, and a free throw for Croatia. So a little handoff. Back it comes again. Oh, lovely little turn. Ninčević into the keeper, and he's gone out to the side for a throw-in. Croatians keep possession. Ninčević taking his time, gets up rather gingerly, the 30-year-old. A relative newcomer to the Croatian team, 26 caps, 38 goals so far. There he is, windmill fend to get past Sarmiento. Little shove, though, as he's shooting. Should that have been a penalty? Well, the Croatian supporters, little band of them, have made the trip here. Bit of a torrid affair coming into Belgrade for them. Koplia into the goalkeeper, but Hombrados drops back and allows the ball to dribble over his shoulder. And now Croatia lead 10-5. Well, Croatia, so far in the competition, in the European Championships, a bronze in '94, and then the last two, in fact, finals they've lost. 2008 to Denmark, 2010 to France. Look at the shot efficiency, though, at the moment. Quite remarkable for Croatia, very economic, 83%. That's incredibly high. Spain at 50%. Suggests that when the Croatians are shooting, they're making sure they're in a good position to do so. That shot goes into the top of the net on the outside, and back come Croatia. Substitution being made between Lakovic, who appears at the bottom of the picture there, and the defense specialist Jakov Gojun, 25-year-old, who plays for the perennial Croatian champions Osiguranje Zagreb, as do quite a few of the players here today in the Croatian team. Lakovic. A little bit of a tip there from Makeda, who touched the ball, took the sting out of the shot. Spain come in into the wing, looking to try and pass it. Moros reaches in, but he's inside the area. And it's going to be a throw for the Croatians once they can get the ball back. So Valerio Rivera still struggling to find solutions as we hit the 20-minute mark in the bronze medal match. Still 5 adrift. Afraid 5 goals in 20 minutes, not a particularly respectable haul for the Spaniards at the moment. Referee's just checking his little note to say, have you already been yellow carded? Luckily for Garcia Parrondo, he wasn't. And this is why a little slap, not across the neck, but it was a little warning to Dunjak. They do that every now and again to say, I'm here and I'm watching you. He's going to have to watch what he does from now on that one. Lakovic. Koplia caught out in the wing now. Čupić. And I think Ombrado's just got a touch on it, kept the ball out. Will dent their rather impressive shooting statistics. Oh, that could well be a 2-minute suspension. That was very high on Entre Rios, and Koplia is off.
2 minutes penalty to be served by Croatian player.
I think he caught him quite high. The replay will probably show he's holding him. And I thought actually that Vori was in trouble. He looks up rather anxiously, Vori, number 9 there, but it's the man behind him who gets sent off. I thought Vori was in danger because he caught him with a hand on the neck. So Spain really have to make these 2 minutes count now. Makeda into the wing. That's good play and wasted. And I'm afraid the shooting stats heading south for Spain at the moment. Very wasteful with their finishing. Uncharacteristic, really. The wing is normally so strong. Garcia Parrondo with a big angle for his shot. Halilovic celebrates. Well, these two teams, as it happens, were in the same qualifying group for these European Championships. Groups of 4 where the top 2 went through. Croatia won the group, winning both their matches against Spain. Back in March last year, they won in Spain 26-24 and at home 23-21. Very close, though. And of course, that result overturned when they met in the main round. This time with Spain winning by 2 goals. That's gone out of play. The Croatians have learnt their lessons, though, here. Mind you, they won despite Alberto Introrios scoring none from 5 on that day. It was Tomas with 5 from 6 and Gurbindo with 3 100% shots that made the difference on the day. Even Sierra wasn't in great form with 27%. That's more like it. If Raúl Entre Rios could do a few more of those, that would certainly help pull out the defence. It certainly helps, of course, that they are short-handed, the Croatians, in defence, and therefore stretched and flatter. They haven't had enough of those long-range efforts at left back. So Balic individually marked as Tomas also pushes up to pick out Koplia. It means that Lakovic and Dini Buntic have to stay out to help. Actually using 4 back players and a wing at the moment, knowing that the Spaniards are going to be pushing 2 up. And in the end, as they try and pass the ball to each other, it's deflected out, I think, by Dunjak reaching up for the ball. Tips it away. But Croatia back to full strength. So Sarmiento still to find those gaps in on the line. Looks for Aguinagalde. Can't get it through. Free throw. Sarmiento, finally. 28-year-old Barcelona playmaker hits the back of the net, closes the gap to 3. So 2 quick goals without reply for the Spaniards. Keeps them in range. The hand off at a team timeout called by Zlatko Goluca.
Timeout requested by Croatia.
And off goes Igor Vori, looking rather disconsolate. Shouldn't do really, he's doing all right, 3 from 3. Goluca, the coach on the right there with his back to us in the red shirt. Player in the Croatian team who took gold in at the Olympic Games in '96 and then 2004. Big name in handball there. Well, Croatia certainly showing more determination than you would have thought they had in them if you'd met them yesterday. Clearly they've managed to talk it through. This. They went back, they had a meeting after their semi-final defeat to Serbia, tried to talk about it, but really couldn't decide. Let's just all go to bed. We've got a day off tomorrow, we can talk about it in the morning. They really just were too upset. Igor Vori said he didn't sleep the night after the semi-final. Both teams really unlucky. Spain 6 times in semi-finals at European Championships, through to the final 3 times, losing in '96 to Russia, '98 to Sweden, and 2006 to France. And despite those 6 semi-final appearances, still no title for them, and equally for Croatia. 3 medals, but none of them gold. Passive play is being worn now. They've got to get a shot in soon. Lakovic, saved by Ombrados. Makes it 5 from 7, Hombrados. Big improvement on CRO, who just never got into the game after starting for Spain. No saves from his first 8 shots. García Parrondo at the front of this 3-2-1 defense technically, but it's so deep. It's hard to call it that really, because the front player normally in a 3-2-1 is an integral part of this triangular formation that works together. Here, though, they are leaving gaps at the back, and on this occasion, Koplia exploits it nicely. No one there, attacks between 1 and 2. 4-goal lead restored as we're past the 25-minute mark in the first half. Into the wing, good space. That's more like it. Thomas drops his wrist back, runs it off his fingertips. Looked like it was going to be hard, but in fact, look at the wrist. A little bit of spin and over the other shoulder instead. And Alilovic does his best to dismantle the goal in frustration. Koplia, Čupić. Koplia again. Can't really get a shot in, too closely marked. Lakovic back to Dunjak. To Lakovic. Good defense by Spain. Lakovic finds the gap in the end. Toing and froing until finally they managed to displace the central defender to the left as they look at the attack. So Maqueda, Sarmiento, Entre Rios, and through. And Sarmiento is such a quick player. The gap was there and suddenly he just drives for it. Čupić looks behind him and he's got no one following him in, and very nearly gives the ball away to García Parrondo. passing it behind him and not quite knowing how far out the Spanish defender was. Dunjak trying to go in, but Makeda already hits him right out at 9.5 meters. Makeda again is out very quickly. All the way through. Lakovic. Four-goal lead restored. His 5th goal of the game from 7 attempts. And we have 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Sarmiento fumbles the ball, but a little shove by Vukovic gives him a reprieve and a free throw. Two-minute suspension. Trupic deliberately kicking the ball away. If it's deemed accidental, you just get the free throw. I'm afraid if you do it deliberately, as was the case there with Trupic, it's not only a free throw, it's a 2-minute suspension. No argument from him. He goes off. Trupic, who in a bizarre accident back in 2008, managed to quite literally rip off his own finger in an incident one evening. Thought his handball career might suffer somewhat after that, but he was straight back in January the following year to play in Croatia's home World Championships, where they took silver. And he was quite an influential player there. He's found a way to play on without that top half of his finger. Meanwhile, Spain have closed the gap to within 3 again, and they're on the attack now. Thomas. And that's the closest they've been for some time. Steal by Garcia Parrondo. And so 2 quick goals. And still Croatia short-handed for 55 seconds. Oh, very tame shot by Koplia. Ombrados looks up. What options does he have? Makeda. Thomas drives in. Interestingly, he's got Garcia Parrondo to his right. He used in defense. He goes off with Moros, and in come Aguinagalde and Sarmiento as we're into the last minute before the half-time break. 40 seconds to go, and Spain, with the extra player, will look to make this one good long attack. Get back to within 1. Oh, what a shame for Croatia. Lakovic intercepts a rather poor pass to the wing, but he had his foot on the line. Nicely done.
Player number 11,
Ugalde.
Sarmiento.
Is it Sarmiento? I do beg your pardon. I'm doing the back player an injustice. So the Barcelona playmaker gets Spain back within 1. A few seconds left here for Croatia to take it. Ombrados in no hurry to retrieve the ball for them, and the buzzer's gone. There'll be a direct free throw for Croatia. Let's wait and see who's going to have a go. Koplia, maybe. It's a long way out. It's not even on the 9-meter line. He's got to shoot from about 12, 13 meters even. Koplia decides to give it to Ombrados. Not close enough. Not like in the semi-final where Hansen scored against Spain, shooting through the wall on the buzzer at half-time. Bit of a disastrous defensive episode there for the Spaniards, and of course they only lost that semi-final by 1. And so it's Croatia who still hang on 13-12 at half-time here in the bronze medal playoff in Belgrade. Well, the shooting for the Croatians absolutely astonishing early on, but it's coming back more into the realms of what we're used to. 60% success rate on their shooting now at half-time to 56% for Spain, who are coming up. The attacks, well, 45% success rate on the attacks. That's not huge. And Lakovic top scoring in the match for Croatia with 5, while the other goals are fairly well spread out across the team. In what is a very, not a particularly high-scoring game, strong defences, but you can see that long gap where Croatia went dry there, but equally there have been long spells when Spain have struggled to find the back of the net. And the defences have really done their jobs here. It's all down the middle traffic for Croatia. Look at that, nothing on the wings, nothing at the left back. They're either driving down through the middle or it's into the line, but it's breakthroughs 1 fast break, 1 penalty, while for Spain, well, a bit of success on the right wing, 3 penalties, and otherwise it's down the middle and coming in from the left-hand side. So the bronze medal playoff here in Belgrade in Euro 2012, Croatia lead 13-12. We'll take a short break. Join us again in just a few moments.